Hey guys, I am going to go over some subtraction strategies with you guys today that you can use when you are solving just standalone subtraction questions or subtraction questions that come up in a word problem. So let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at the question 53 minus 29, and we are going to solve it 4 different ways. The first way that we're going to solve this question is with using the counting up with a number line strategy, okay? So we are going to start by drawing our number line, okay? Now, we are subtracting 53 minus 29. Our goal is to figure out, how do I get from 29 to 53? Guys, we are going to have to do a little bit of addition here. We are counting up, okay? So we are going to start with the number 29, and we need to ask ourselves, what could I add to the number 29 that's going to make this a little bit easier? I'm noticing that 29 is really close to 30. It's only 1 away, plus 1, okay? The number 30 is a little bit easier to add to than 29. Now, as I'm using this strategy, I'm going to keep just a little log down here of what I'm adding, okay? Because at the end, I'm going to need to take all these jumps on the number line that I've made, and I'm going to need to add up their value to figure out what I added to 29 to get to 53, okay? So we're at the number 30. Now, I'm trying to get to 53. I want to ask myself, can I count up 10, okay? Well, 10 more than 30 is 40. Okay, 40 is close to 53, but it's not going past it. So plus 10. I can add 10 right here. Oh, well, I need to show that I'm adding 10 right there, because remember, that's where we're keeping our mental log, okay? Now I'm going to ask myself again, can I add 10 again before going past 53? Well, 10 more than 40 is 50. So yes, plus 10, okay? Now, I am at 50, like we said, 10 more than 40 is 50. And now I need to figure out, what do I need to add to 50 to get to 53? Well, 50 plus 3 equals 53. I'm going to record that down there. Now I need to add up these 4 numbers. We want to look once again for numbers that are easy to add. 10 plus 10 is 20, and 20 plus 3 is 23. And 23 plus 1 equals 24, okay? So that's our first strategy, counting up with a number line. You're actually adding to find the answer to your subtraction problem, okay? Now, the next strategy we are going to use to solve this question is the base 10 block strategy, okay? Now, we are subtracting 53 minus 29. We're trying to find our difference here. And the answer to a subtraction problem is called a difference. So we are going to start by drawing the number 53 with base 10 blocks. Now, if you printed out the base 10 blocks that I put up in the resources, then you could use those, okay? So I have drawn what 53 looks like when we use base 10 blocks, and now we need to subtract 29. We're going to start with this 9 here in our ones place. I go and I look up at my picture and I see 1, 2, 3 ones. Well, I can't take 9 away from that. So I'm going to need to break apart this 10. Okay? Well, remember, when we break apart a 10, we're not losing that 10. We're just breaking it up into ones, okay? So I'm going to actually erase that 10, and in its place, I'm going to draw 10 ones. So we didn't lose that 10. We're just breaking it up. Showing it this way is going to help us when we try to solve this question using the traditional algorithm. Okay, so now I can see that I can easily take 9 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then I need to take away my 2 10s. This 2 is in the tens place, so that means 2 10s, 10, 20. And I'm left with 2 10s and 4 1s. 2 10s is 20, plus 4 equals 24. So we found the same answer using both strategies so far. The next strategy I want to show you is the take away method. Now, guys, this is kind of a combination of using expanded form. If you watched the addition video earlier, It's really similar to the break apart method. Okay, we are going to be taking away from 53. We're going to start by breaking 29 up into into expanded form to help us visualize this. Okay, so here I have 53, and I'm going to start by subtracting that 20. Okay, now 53 minus 20 is 33. It would help too to think if you have a 120 chart, you could look at, remember we practiced counting up on the 120 chart to help us think of what's 10 less or what's 20 less. Okay. After you've done that, you're left with the number 33. Well, I still need to take 9 away from that. And that might be a little bit tricky. So what if we broke our 9 up here into 6 and 3? 6 plus 3 equals 9. I see that I have a 3 right here. That looks like it might be easy to subtract. Okay, so 33 minus 3 equals 30. And then I can take away my final 6, right? So 30 minus 6 equals 24. Okay, so we found that same answer again. Now, the last strategy that we're going to go over today is the traditional algorithm. Now, before spring break, we started to touch on this, but we didn't get a lot of practice. We practiced a little bit during number talks, and we've, of course, reviewed other strategies, but this is going to be new, so it's okay if we don't master it right now. You're going to get it again in 3rd grade and 4th grade. Our goal in 2nd grade is to really understand how to add and subtract using mental strategies along with the traditional algorithm, but mainly focus on those place value based strategies. Okay, but let's go over it together. So we have 53 minus 29. I'm going to stack those. Now, we always need to start in the ones place. And you're going to need to ask yourself, can I subtract 3 minus 9? Can I take 9 away from 3? Well, no, you can't. Let's think about it this way. If I have 3 pieces of candy and I want to share it with my 9 friends, is that possible? Well, not if I'm going to give everyone a whole piece of candy. You cannot take 9 away from 3. So we are going to need to borrow. We are going to need to go next door and get 10 more. So over here we have a 5. Now this 5 does not just represent 5, remember, it represents 50. So I'm just going to draw a little picture of 50 right here. Okay, we are going to take one of these 10s and we are going to move it over here. Okay, so now we have a 10 and our original 3. Okay, so over here we now have 13. We have to show that we took away our 10, so we have 4 10s left there. Now you can just subtract normally. 13 minus 9 equals 4, and 4 minus 2 equals 2. Let's do another practice with the traditional algorithm. Okay, 27 minus 19. Okay, we start in our ones place. If there's more on the floor, meaning your bottom number, you are going to have to go next door and get 10 more. Okay, so we are going to take a 10 away from that 2, which is going to leave us with 1 left. We are giving 10 to this 7. So let's draw a little picture right here. We had 7, and we are getting 10 from over there. So now we have 10 plus 7, we have 17. Okay, 17 minus 9 is 8, okay? And 1 minus 1 is 0, okay? So our answer here is 8. Let's do another practice, okay? Let's do 23 minus 18. We start in our ones place. We'll ask ourselves, is there more on the floor? Yes, so we need to go next door and get 10 more, okay? I'm going to start this time by drawing our 3 1s here to represent our 3 and our 2 10s right here, okay? So we are going to go and we are going to take this 10 and we're going to move it over here. That means we are left with 1 10 and 13 1s, okay? 13 minus 8 is 5 and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're left with our difference, which is 5. I'm going to post some extra practice for you. Remember, it's okay if we do not have this mastered. Our goal right now is exposure to this topic and just kind of adding it to our tool belt of subtraction strategies that we already know